everyone. Welcome back to another exciting day of mathematics. Whoop, whoop. How's everybody doing? Good? Yeah? So warm-up 59's on the screen. That shouldn't take you long. And today we only have 3 more problems that I needed to finish from the study guide. And your home play was numbers 1 through 7 as well. So let's see how you did with all that. I'll give you guys some time. All right, here we go. Number 1. What'd you get for number 1, Courtney Jean? Inequality. Nine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. Okay. Hands if you got that. All right. Tell your neighbor the interval notation for that. Courtney Jean, pass someone. Bracket. -4. That is correct. Number 2, tell your neighbor what you got for x equals what and x equals what on number 2. Share with your neighbor. And then we're going to pass it to someone. All right, pass someone. Anthony D. -1 and 1. Hands if you got that. That is correct. Let's go. So really quick, here goes the process in case you missed it. This is 3 times x squared minus 2 equals 2. X squared minus 4. Distribute. 3x squared minus 6 equals x squared minus 4. Then get everything to one side. Minus x squared plus 4 minus x squared plus 4. We end up with 2x squared minus 2 equals 0. GCF for this one is 2. We're left with x squared minus 1 equal to 0. Then we got 2 parentheses equal to 0. X squared minus 1 is x plus 1, x minus 1. And then the rest is history, yes? Yes, Mr. Q. All right. Number 3, I need a function. F of x equals blank, x blank. Tell your neighbor what you got for that function, and then we'll have Anthony pass them one. Function. Pass them one, Anthony. Brianna, what you get? 2x plus 0. Technically, that is correct, but once you have it like that, you just write f of x equals -2x with nothing at the end because it's 0. That is correct. Let's go. And let's go to number 4. Show your neighbor your process before we pass someone to get us started. Look at the process for the inverse, please. All right, pass someone, Bree. Who? The next step? Before, change it to y, yes. So we got y equals 3/2 x plus 3. And then Yanni said subtract 3 from each side. Okay. So far so good. So we got y minus 3 equals 3/2 x. Pass someone, Yanni? Me? Okay, I'm going to pass it back to Yanni. What do I do next? The reciprocal, yes. 2/3, both sides. Well, both sides. 2/3, distribute. So that's 2/3 y minus 6/3 equals x. What do I do next? Pass on one? All right, let's pass it back to Vianney. Switch the variables. That is correct. So we got 2/3 x minus, can I simplify this fraction? 6/3 is 2 equals to y. And last but not least, what do I do at the end? Pass on one, Vianney. Who? Brandon Doherty. Go, right. What do we write? Hands, if you got something like that? Close. Tell them what's missing. The little inverse right here, the inverse sign. Ah. All right. We good? Copy the agenda, please. Warm-up number 59, semester 1 cognitive skills. And I don't know, what can I say? Study? Bah. Can we start next week, our final? Let's go. Y'all ready for the final? Oh, yeah, bring it. Bring it. All right, so we're down to the last 3 problems on the study guide. So, last night, here's the code, QG8VX, QG8VX. Once again, you can access the study guide in there as well. And last night's home play was problems numbers 1 through 7. So you should have how many copies of that? 3, right? All right. So we're not going to turn that in. That's a gift from me to you. Let's go. It's one of those kind of like I remember when I was in the basketball team, before we got to the season, I remember I used to carry my basketball everywhere. And everywhere I went, I used to dribble with my left. So like that, the day came when I needed to use both hands in the game. I knew how to shoot with my left, and I knew how to shoot with my right. I knew how to go left, and I knew how to go right. I knew how to cross over left and cross over right. Spin left, spin right. Yeah. All right. So, shall we? About you now. Let's go to number 19. Copy that one, please. The last 3. Probably these are the favorite ones that you've had all throughout the study guide. Hi, everyone. Yes, look at you. Number 19 says add x plus 3 over x minus 4. You're writing this down on your paper, yes? Plus negative 10x minus 23, Marco Jordan, over x squared plus x minus 20. So we're going to do the first part, which says add. In order to add 2 fractions, turn to your neighbor, let them know, what do we need to have when adding 2 fractions? We need to have what? We need to have what, Jacob? When adding 2 fractions, what do we need to have? Any 2 fractions. Help him out, Anthony E. What do we need to have when adding 2 fractions? Yes, a common denominator. That is correct. Do we have a common denominator here? No. So we need to factor. So look up. Can we factor this first denominator anymore? No, I just leave it in parentheses. Can we factor the second denominator? Yes. We got negative 20. And this one is an invisible 1. So, what two numbers, when you multiply them, give us negative 20, then when you combine them, give us 1? What are those two numbers? Noah, numbers. 5 and negative 4. That is correct. So my factors are x plus 5, x minus 4. Have a good day. All right? We good up to right there? So question, look at the first denominator, look at the second denominator. What does the first denominator need that the second one has? Martin? What is it? Yeah, x plus 5. It needs it over here. So if it needs it on the denominator, of course we're going to multiply the numerator as well. So now we're going to rewrite these two fractions. So let me bring the common denominator for those two fractions would be x plus 5, x minus 4. X plus 5, x minus 4. That's our common denominator. So, look up. On the first one, we multiplied the top and bottom times x plus 5, yes? So let's do that to the top. So I'm going to distribute this over here. So let's start with x times x. What is x times x? X squared. What is x times 3? 3x. What is 5 times x? 5x. And what is 5 times 3? 15. Now, why did I write it there? Because now I'm going to combine stuff and write my ending polynomial right here. So, we get the x squared, bring it down. Combine 3x plus 5x, and that gives us 8x. And then bring down the 15. Look at the first fraction. Did we multiply the first fraction times anything? No, so we just bring this one down right here. So, now that we have common denominators, now we're ready to add. Is that correct? Yes, Mr. Q. All right, good. So now it becomes one fraction, x plus 5, x minus 4. And why did I make only one fraction? Because they're the same denominator. And now I only focus on the numerators. There it is. So since it's addition, that means that we are going to combine the numerators. So by combining them, tell your neighbor what to write here in the new numerator. And we'll have Brandon enlighten us. What do we write if we combine it all there? What will we write? All right, what do we end up with, Brandon, Felix? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Let's go. Hands, have you got that? Yes? Okay. So, now we're left with one nice fraction here, but we need to simplify to lowest terms. So, we can't do that because this one is still a polynomial, so at that point, we factor this one again. We got negative 8 above and negative 2 below. So, what two numbers multiply give me negative 8 that when you combine them give us negative 2. Tell your neighbor, and Brandon's going to pass someone. Negative 8. That gives us negative 2. Brandon, go. Martin. 2. Damn, Martin, let's go. That is correct. So therefore, x plus 2, x minus 4. And the denominator stayed the same because we didn't do anything to it. So x plus 5, x minus 4. You guys see anything now that we can eliminate or that we can, you guys see the giant 1? Yes? All right, what's our giant 1? X plus 4. So that means we're left with x plus 2 over x plus 5. Now remind your neighbor why on that last answer, why don't we take away the x's here for another giant 1? Why don't we? Why don't we take away those x's? Tell your neighbor, please, and then we'll have Kimberly enlighten us. Why don't we take away the x's? Tell your neighbor, please, why don't we take away the x's? All right, good. Kimberly, why don't we? It's not multiplication. What do we have here in between in each one? It's addition. That's why we cannot take these away. All right, so we're done with the first part. What was the first part? Add. We're done. But what else does it say? Let me zoom out. It says, identify the x values for which the expression is undefined. So, whenever on your study guide, write or underline undefined, and I want you to write the letters EV. Remind your neighbor what that means. What does EV stand for? Yeah, excluded values. That's what they're asking us to find. So, for the sake of time, what are the excluded values? Well, the denominator or the common denominator. So the original denominator for the first one was x minus 4. For the second one was x minus 4 and x plus 5. So that means I take x plus 5, set it equal to 0, and x minus 4 equal to 0, and we solve. Minus 5 minus 5, x equals to negative 5, plus 4, x equals to 4. So my excluded values are negative 5 and positive 4. So what does that mean, Mr. Q? Just a reminder, guys, is that whenever we're solving equations, this is not an equation, but whenever we're solving equations involving fractions, we cannot use these values because that's what makes the equation 0 or undefined. Okay? Yes, Mr. Q? Undefined. All right? Good? Shall we do another one or shall we move on? Move on? Okay, let's go to the number 20. It says, divide and simplify your answer. Write that down. 1 over y divided by y minus 5 over 5y. Let me zoom in. Copy that on your paper. Now let me show you the process with numbers. Look up to the screen. If I gave you the fractions 2/3 divided by 4/5, how do you divide, Mr. Q? Well, the first fraction stays the same. We change the division sign to multiplication, and we make the second fraction into the reciprocal. And then all that's left is to multiply. 2 times 5 is 10, and 3 times 4 is 12. And at the end, can we simplify that to lowest terms? Yes. Well, that same process applies to this. So, tell your neighbor what to write after this. What do we write after that? And then we'll have Kimberly pass it to someone. What do we write after that? Anthony D, what do I write? That is correct. So we did this step. We went from there to there. So now all we have left is to multiply. Check this out. 1 times 5y is 5y. Y times y minus 5, I'm going to write it out. Y times y minus 5. All right. So check this out. Can we simplify to lowest terms? Let's check. What operation is it between the 5 and the y? Multiplication. How about between the y and this binomial? Multiplication. So tell your neighbor what to do from there. What do we do from there? All right, good conversations. Pass someone, Anthony. She said you find the giant one with the y, and then we're left with 5 over y minus 5. That is correct. And once again, remind your neighbor, why can't I do another giant one with the 5s? And we'll have Brandon enlighten us. Why can't I? Why can't I, Brandon, Felix? Yeah, there's subtraction right here. We can only do that with multiplication. All right, we're down to number 20, and let's go to the last one, number 21. There it is. Now, this one we've been doing like forever. So copy that one. Number 21, x over x minus 2 equals x minus 4 over negative 3x plus 6. All right, so we're going to solve first because it says solve. So tell your neighbor what to do first. What do we do first? Okay, good. Brandon, pass someone. Danny. Cross multiply, so we go x times that, so I'm going to write it out. X times negative 3x plus 6 equals, and then? X minus 2 times x minus 4. So far, so good, yes? All right, let's simplify each side. Distribute. Negative 3x squared plus 6x. I can't simplify the left side anymore, so I'm going to go to the right side. X times x, x squared. X times negative 4, negative 4x. Negative 2 times x, negative 2x. Negative 2 times negative 4, that's positive 8. Can I simplify this right side more? Yes. X squared, negative 4 and negative 2, that's negative 6x. Bring down the plus 8, and all that equal to negative 3x squared plus 6x. So far, so good, yes? All right. What do we do from there? Tell your neighbor. What do we do from there? All right, help us out. Trinity, go. What do I do from there? She said factor, but that's the following step. Before that, it needs to be equal to what, everyone? 0. So I need to get either all of these to the left or all of these to the right. I'm going to take all of these to the right. So add 3x squared and minus 6x. Add 3x squared and minus 6x to both sides. And that leaves us with 0 equals 4x squared negative 12x plus 8. All right. So Trinity said factor. So before we factor, look at it. What do we check? Standard form, yes. What else? Standard form, and then we check 4, which is 4. That is correct. That leaves us with x squared minus 3x plus 2, and all that equal to 0. All right, so now we are here. Look at this one. How do we factor this one? How do we factor that, Selena? 2 and negative 3. What factors of 2 add up to negative 3, everyone? Negative 2 and negative 1. So my factors are x minus 2, x minus 1, bring down the 4, equal to 0. What do I do next? Pass someone, Selena. Emily P., go. Yeah, tell me what to write. So we said each one equal to 0. That is correct. Thank you, Emily P. Is 4 equal to 0, everyone? No, that cancels. We're left with these. Solve. Plus 2 plus 2. X equals 2. Plus 1 plus 1. X equals 1. And we're done. Now, according to the first part, let me zoom out. It said to solve. So according to what I did, we all did, we finished. However, what does this mean? Check for extraneous solutions. Well, whenever you get to this point, remember excluded values. So what do I do to find my excluded values? Tell your neighbor, please, and Emily P is going to pass it to someone. Excluded values. Pass someone, Emily P. Brianna, what do I write? Equals 0. Negative 3x plus 6 equal to 0. Or in other words, take the denominators equal to 0. Let's solve. Plus 2 plus 2, x equals 2. Minus 6 minus 6, negative 3x equals negative 6. Divide by negative 3, divide by negative 3, x equals 2, which is the same one, right? So what is my excluded value? 2. So question, didn't we just solve an equation? Now that we solved an equation, what is the only value that we will not be able to use? The 2. Did we get anything like that over here? Yeah, so if you see that the excluded value is one of the solutions, you cross it out, because we can't use it, and that's what we call extraneous. Extraneous. Why? Then just show me, because it's over there. Pretty straightforward, yes? Yes, Mr. Q, we love these. Yeah, extraneous. Extraneous. Reminds me of that movie, Forever. 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 You guys know what I'm talking about? No? Oh my goodness. Forever. All right. And And that was the last one on the study guide. Let's go. I think the last three are our favorite, right? This one, and of course that one. Oh, yes. All right. So, just a reminder, once again, your home play. Whoa, let's go. Your home play for tonight is to study. Make it a family math night or something. Tell them, everybody, gather around. Let me show you some algebra 2. You'll be the popular family member. All right, I'm going to stop the video right there. I'm going to upload that so you guys can have it as a reference. Bye.